Greetings, friends. Welcome to this edition of Art and Coffee, the video series dedicated to helping you find and forge your own unique voice in the realms of art and visual storytelling. Thanks so much for watching. It's really good to have you. If you're wondering what that white noise that sounds like rain is, it's rain. As soon as I set the camera up, it started raining outside, and the door to the outside is just off camera over here. All information you needed, I'm sure. Today's coffee is the Fast Forward blend from the Counterculture Coffee Roasters in Durham. Nutty, sweet, and light. In Fast Forward, we offer similar coffees from different harvest periods, making it easy to enjoy fresh coffees throughout the year. And Fast Forward allows us to evolve by working with emerging coffee projects. This is supposed to be their breakfast blend, which is to say it's a light roast. Fun fact, the light roasts have the most caffeine. It's not bad. It's very light. It's a very light tasting coffee. If that's what you're into, it's definitely for you. As for me, I'm much more of a middle of the road or dark roast kind of guy. I never thought I would be the dark roast kind of guy, but here we are. You might be wondering why I join you today from the corner of wisdom. Well, it's because I just so happen to have finished filling out my latest sketchbook, and I thought I'd give you the tour. Here we go. So the first thing we're going to do, if we're going to talk about the sketchbook, let's talk about the book itself. This thing is 11 by 17. I always draw in landscape. I'm not completely sure why, probably because then my hand rests on it the most. And drawing portrait style, it'll fall off the edge more. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's a cognitive thing. It's just a little quirk in my head. Also, the paper inside is actually very, very stiff cardstock. It is Hammermill 80-pound super bright white cardstock. I use Hammermill because it's super duper thick, sturdy, very white, very smooth. It also accepts ink and markers extremely well, better than Bristol board, and it is a sight cheaper. It is 24 pages thick because just 24 is a good number to have in your sketchbook. For instance, I've been using these for a good while, 24 sheets. And the idea is you should be filling up a sketchbook every month. And if you've got 24 pages, then just a little under a page a day and boom, you're done. Full disclosure, I do not finish a sketchbook every month. I buy 100-pound and 80-pound Hammermill cardstock by the ream. And the 80-pound is what I use here in my sketchbooks because it's a little thinner. The 100-pound is what I use for my proper illustration. It's thicker, it's sturdier, it accepts more ink better. These are where I put ideas, not necessarily professional work, so I don't mind so much. Also, 100-pound paper is slightly thicker than 80, so it'll make the thing heavier and tougher. I take my paper to a local office supply store. For me, it's an Office Max. For you, it might be a Staples. Maybe you know a printer who's not so bad. I get my paper, 24 sheets, sandwiched between 2 sheets of this right here. This is called craft paper. K-R-A-F-T. The uninitiated call it cardboard. It is not cardboard. I get 1 sheet of craft paper, which the print shop usually has a ream of, for the front, and 1 sheet for the back. And on the back, that is where I glue the cardboard. Corrugated cardboard. So named because, check it out, it's corrugated. That's what these little bits of line in there for. You may also know corrugated steel. It's the same thing. It's usually what they use on like shipping containers because it makes the thing stiffer up and down and stronger without using too much material. I like stickers. I don't really have nice things to put stickers on because my nice things, I'm like, it's too nice for stickers. But my sketchbooks with craft paper, they need something here, so boom, stickers. I only had the 1 sticker for this sketchbook. But for other sketchbooks, while I'm at conventions, I'll pick up the cool-looking stickers that I like very much and arrange them in pretty ways on the new sketchbook as soon as it's time to start sketching. Once a sketchbook is filled and done up, I write a date on the front. Not the date of when I started it, but the date of when I finished. Alright, that's enough talking about this. Let's get the sucker open. These are some character designs that I was working on for my latest edition of the graphic novel series that I've been working on for the past 6 years. This is what book 1 looks like. Purgatory Pub. When the angel and devil on your shoulder are done harassing you, they go to a bar and they talk about you. And the interiors look like this. For every character I put in a graphic novel or an illustration or a comic book or a kid's book, I have to start with character designs, and there's no place better made for character designs than sketchbooks. Here I needed to design a woman from somewhere in the Middle East, and I was thinking Pakistan at the time, to be the mother of another character. I didn't need to do a full character design, I just needed to do these face studies. This is the face that I landed on, but I needed to make sure that this face could hold a different expression, so I drew this face here to make sure it did. I like this head shape, I reinvented the rest, and then saw if I could change the expression. And from there, that was the character I decided on, and that's what ended up in the graphic novel, which I will be kickstarting hopefully sometime in September, so keep an eye out for that. Here is that same woman. Just more practice before I started drawing. She has a very interesting face, and I need to make sure that I don't mess it up. These here are master studies. These were copied out of this graphic novel right here, Night Lights by Lorena Alvarez. Did I say that right? Yeah, Alvarez. I have a little girl myself, but I have no gift for drawing young children, particularly little girls like my own, so I figured it was time to practice. These here are more master studies from a different cartoon, a different comic strip that is on Webtoons, and I forget the name of it. Every single character has very distinct shapes putting them together. Whoever draws this, I forget their names right now, I'm sorry. I'll probably, in post, come back and superimpose their names here. Yep, the good people who draw this book just have such a great sense of visual vocabulary when it comes to shapes to make up their characters, particularly their faces and their actions. Look at this hair. The silhouette of this character, you'll never miss that character. Same with this. Who does this? It's awesome. And just this little wood guy is just fun. That's clearly the artist just having a good time. More character studies from the same Webtoon series. This one's my favorite. These were faces based on people that I saw in a coffee shop, and I was not very happy with these. I mean, look at this one. Look how quickly I abandoned this one. On this particular day in the coffee shop, I tried drawing the people, and it just wasn't working. So, lesson to you who are watching, if you're drawing and it's not really working out for you, it's okay. It's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes it just doesn't work, but not drawing is not acceptable. So, I started drawing these things just for fun. These came mostly from my head. And I went back later and inked them because it's just fun to ink things. They look so much better in black and white. This character, right here. Is this guy smiling? I have no idea. I'm not sure if that's a smiling mouth or face wrinkles, but I really liked the ambiguity there. This image of an eyeball coming out of the palm of a hand, it's an old image. Like, that shows up in a lot of different fantasy novels and comic books, but just never get tired of it. I also never get tired of tentacles. Just don't. And this guy, this was just fun. I like the shapes. Here it's more of the same. Trying to do character studies of this guy, and it was like pulling teeth. It didn't go well. You can see some lines here. I was doing some cross-contour planar studies, like this little bit of a skull. Kind of gave him a square-ish head. Wasn't going well. I watched a documentary about ants for fun because I am that nerd, and I decided that my favorite kind of ant was this sucker right here. I can't remember their name off the top of my head. I'm probably gonna go back and superimpose that in post. Anyway, this is one of the largest, toughest, and most primitive living ants to date. These are derived from wasps, and in fact are still so related to wasps that they have stingers in their abdomens. The heads, man. The heads and the super elongated, toothy mandible. I love it so much. Octopus for fun. I took a lot of the shapes of this octopus from This book, again, look at the imagination. All those shapes, those colors. And here's the octopus. Just the way that the tentacles shaped, and these are drawn more like scales than they are suction cups. And I just liked that they move more like ribbons, and the eyes are much more exaggerated. I loved that page so much, I had to do something from it. I love octopuses. And for this one, definitely more my style. I like the detail. I like making things break the silhouette, so suction cups. But I really like the scales idea, so I made the outside of the octopus scaly, particularly this Klingon-looking crest on the octopus forehead. This guy over here, that's just fun. If there was a caption to this, it'd be like, Grignac is worried about the lack of onboard peanuts for this flight. So his little speech bubble is a picture of a peanut, because I'm just so sophisticated, apparently. More character studies from the same book. When I first opened up this sketchbook, I was just in love with this book, and I wanted to learn as much as I could from it. This is our main character from the book in different poses. Wanted to make sure I could do that, really understand this head shape in 3D space. And these are 3 of her classmates. Also, just terrific collection of shapes. I wanted to draw something having to do with slugs. I don't fully know why, but there was a reason. So these were all studies made from different photographs of different species of slug. This one here, that's my favorite slug. I don't know why. Something about the shape. This one here, she thinks she's all that, but you know what? She's really not. I really like watching old movies. Old movies have got great old guy faces, and the hairstyles, the women's hairstyles were so much more elaborate. The women who were on camera back in the day really worked on different hairstyles, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Most of these were drawn while I was watching the movie, which is why you get some sketchy stuff. Also, I had some space, so I drew this bug. I might use that bug later. This guy's was the best face I got out of watching that old movie. If you're wondering what movie it is, I can't remember. This young lady, good hairstyle, but the shapes making up this face, definitely a lot of fun. This was client work. A client saw that I had made a sketch of an ant and said, I am making a slideshow. I would like my slideshow to have different characters. I need a character that appeals to a wide audience that I'm presenting this to. So let's not have a human character. I want to see your ant. And the real trick was, how do you make an ant emote, share emotions? Very difficult. But this is what I came up with, and the client was pleased. I put it inside of my sketchbook because here I work the most loosely. I'm the loosest inside of the sketchbook and very tight, unfinished sheets of paper, so I put it in here. I also colored with marker instead of digitally because I wanted to give the whole thing a very hand-drawn, tailor-made look. And when this is blown up super huge for the presentation, it looks great. You can see the little marker lines, and it's just this tiny little subconscious, hey, a human drew this, which makes it a little bit more compelling for the people watching the series. There was a series of characters that I was contracted to do for the same thing. Here we are. It's the ant again, regular business guy. Opening sketch of one of the ladies at the conference. And here is a completed sketch of the same woman. Here's random programmer guy.
Unless the client asks for it.
These are fun. These are ink studies for different things that I'm going to do for Inktober. I had planned to do these for this past Inktober, but I drew the pencils. I didn't really get to it. I had too much work to do, so it's away. Here we have a regular old gray squirrel at the top of some kind of stick, and clearly some sort of cat going for it. I thought that was fun. Here, for one of my Inktober drawings, I drew a guy who had a little bitty face but a very tall hat, so I wanted to do the opposite here. Giant face, little bitty hat. Also, as much as I love the old black and white movies, particularly old black and white gangster movies, man, I never get tired of drawing this trope. It's so much fun for me. I love the pinstripe suits. The pinstripe is how you know it's a bad guy. These were sketches for different logos. I am not happy with any of these, except this one, which is upside down because I forgot which way my sketchbook went at the time. Try not to think too hard about it. This one went well, the client liked it. The rest of these were logo ideas for this series right here. I didn't use any of these. Client work. There's a band, it's an 8-string guitar, 6-string bass, and what you will not see in the sketchbook is a set of drums for the third member. These were later put into Photoshop, tidied up slightly, and made into stickers for them to sell as merch at their table. They look pretty good, it turned out well, I'm happy. These were just sketches made in ballpoint pen because, why not? These were sketches done for more client work. It was a tribute to this young doggy here and this young lady here who loves this doggy. This was drawn of a picture of her giving the Spider-Man kiss to a stuffed Spider-Man that she keeps in her car. This young lady really likes Spider-Man, and hey, who could blame her? These were more ideas for different coffee logo things, which these were made to be cut up and used in Photoshop, which I did, and it did not go well. These remain unused. These were little pencil sketches for different projects. Here we've got little fly sketches, little frog sketches, and that's just for a single illustration that I was contracted to do. Here we've got the beginnings of a band logo that did not go well. And here we've got the thumbnail drawings for a gig poster that I made for somebody else. That's probably one of the most fun client works I've had this past year. The band is called the Hibiscus War Room. That's just a cool name. This is more client work. My job. These were sketch studies of real people. I was contracted to draw black and white inked illustrations of the different people working in the office. So what I do is I do studies of each one of these people before committing to a final piece of paper and getting final inks on it. Same thing, more people at the company. This guy, he's a friend. He's a lot of fun. More people, same company. These are little thumbnail sketches for different things. This here is client work. This here is logo ideas for the band that I am currently in called the Late Night Lowlights. We're a lot of fun. I'll be posting videos of that later, whether you like it or not. And here are little thumbnail drawings for what may be the next cover of my third graphic novel, third of 4 of the Purgatory Pub series. You might recognize this as my master's studies of the cartoon modern. And more master studies of the cartoon modern. And that was it. That was the end of this book. I usually have with me at any given time 2 different sketchbooks. I have a sketchbook like this with white paper, and I have a sketchbook like this with pre-toned paper. This one is toned tan. I used to have toned gray, but it didn't work out well. The tone paper is a lot of fun for inking, coloring, and adding highlights to. That's what makes the tone paper lots of fun. Lots and lots of pop on the pages that you finish. For instance, this page. I use these sketchbooks for 2 different things. Notice, in this sketchbook, you get a lot of drawings like this. You get client work. The white paper sketchbooks, this one I use for client work, for studies, and for drawing people in coffee shops. The tone paper, this I do for also people in coffee shops, but mostly for fun stuff that's fun just for me. For instance, a Grim Reaper, either ordering a number 2 with fries or wishing you peace. Or a chameleon wearing a spacesuit. What I'm getting at is, the white paper is usually where I put the serious work where I'm trying to learn. And the tone paper, this is where I go to play. Most of the drawings in this tone paper are finished pencil sketches. I want to go back, ink, color, and add highlights like these people here. I want to go back and add a little more bits to these slugs. This slug who is sad for reasons I don't understand yet, and for this slug who is clearly going off to work at his insurance company. He is in sales. So while the pencil drawings are complete, this book is not. what I need to do is go back, ink, and color. And when this book is done, I'll be happy to show it to you. So that's it for this book. It's all finished, and I put the date at the bottom. Out with the old, in with the new. This is the very new sketchbook that has the craft paper cover that has yet to be creased because it is so very new. And like all new sketchbooks, this one is in desperate need of the proper stickers. And it just so happens I've got some here. I've got these 2 stickers from local artist Paul Fredericks, the creator of the onion-headed monster. This one is a lot of fun. And just I saw this and I thought it was amazing. A cat on fire means bad news. These are from local artist George Hage. I think I'm saying his name right. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. His first name is George. He's a sweet guy. Got a pizza, which, who doesn't want pizza? A fish with the man face, and I guess that's an ear? I don't know. And a leg with the bone sticking out. I mean, that's just cool. And you can't just go sticking on stickers willy-nilly. You gotta have a method. So here's what I'm thinking. Yoda soda. Definitely the way to go. Throw down some pizza to go with his soda. And then these on the sides because why not? It's fun. New sketchbook, ready for the world. Here at the end, I've got a little bit of parting words for you. This is my sketchbook, and this is the way that I use my sketchbook and the kind of stuff that I put in it. It's all very specific to me. Your mileage is definitely going to vary. If your sketchbook doesn't look like this, that's fine. If it's not this big, that's fine. If you treat your sketchbook completely different than I do, that's fine. Finding your own voice, your own process, that's the journey that you're on. To be the best version of yourself. To be the best artist that you can be. Don't try to be the best version of an artist that already exists and that you already like. I'm glad you like them, but we already have one of them. What we need is a new one of you. Thanks so much for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the time that we spent together. Take care of yourself, take care of your friends, and make art. Shut up, Lydia. As soon as it started raining, the poor kitty needed to come in. Ain't that right, kitty? Ain't that right, kitty? She hates me. She hates my guts. Don't you, kitty? Don't you? Yes, you do. You hate my guts. You hate my guts. The feeling is mutual. Ow! I deserve that. I deserve that. Greetings, friend. The counterculture coffee roasters who are in Durham and Kosher. Nope, that's not a place. It's still raining and the bloody cat already wants to go back outside. She's just staring at the door. What are you going to do when you get out there? You're just going to get wet and beg to come back in. I think she just gave me the bird.